and welcome to the Priggya Arora Show, where we discuss various aspects of entrepreneurship and law with people who have been there and done that. My name is Priggya Arora, founder of PA Legal and Intellectual Property Law Firm in India. And today we have very young and talented Samridhi with us. So let us directly dive into a conversation with her. So, Samridhi, can you tell us a little short story about yourself and why law?
Yeah, sure. I think why law is such a question everywhere I go. But yeah, so my journey began last year in 2020 when I started, when I first of all didn't even know that I'm going to take up law. I always wanted to take up management, but then I realized I wanted to do something professional and I might just give law a try. So I took up BBA LLB, which is a mix of management as well as law. So it does let me have that freedom of doing management as well. And initially, I didn't know what I'm supposed to do. So I started taking up a few courses that would help me upskill myself. And with those courses, I realized that I was getting a few projects through LinkedIn and through other platforms that I could help people with their legal writing, with legal writing and just helping them build content, like helping legal professionals build content. And I am here today. I'm helping a lot of law firms, lawyers and legal professionals, India and in the US, the UK, help them with their content initiatives or just help them ghostwrite a bunch of content, because I think content has really become a very important medium of how we communicate and how people get known by other people. So I think that's happened, and I'm just grateful that I'm here and I've had this small experience of 1 year with me, and I feel that's pretty much about me initially, and I've just moved to my second year. So yeah.
So, Samriddhi, you're just in your second year, and I'm, at your age, probably I didn't know what to do. I was into engineering, and then I switched my career to law. So, I'm just thinking, what motivates you? Who is your inspiration? How did you get into, writing and starting your own journey so young?
Yeah, definitely. So I feel that I never had a strategy initially because I just stepped into the unknown. I really didn't know what I was doing. So I think LinkedIn has played a really huge part in where I am today. But I never had any particular strategy when it came to LinkedIn or, you know, posting content or getting leads or anything like that. Now I do have one, but previously I didn't know, LinkedIn could give me so many benefits and I could have a plan and things like that. And honestly, even I don't know what I might end up doing, because I'm just trying to experiment different things, because I was told once by someone in the profession that keep experimenting, because that's the only way you will realize what you like. So I think I'm just doing that. And with respect to legal writing and LinkedIn, how I got here, I think I feel like it's luck and a little bit of hard work that just got me here. So yeah, that's been that's the part of LinkedIn and getting into legal writing so early on.
Beautiful, Samriddhi. You have just shared a very good, probably key takeaway, which I think all young legal entrepreneurs should know, that it's only after experimenting we know what we want to do in life. Unless we experiment, we would never know. Like I always say, if I don't study history, I don't know whether I like history or not. If I don't study mathematics, I don't know whether I love mathematics or I'll hate mathematics. So entrepreneurship is also like that. Unless we experiment and do something, we wouldn't know that whether we really like it or not. So beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Samriddhi, what is your favorite part of legal content writing?
Okay, I think that's such an interesting question because I've never given it a thought actually. But I would say my favorite type of writing would not be something that's very technical or that's very analytical. I feel something. I don't mind analytical pieces, but I feel something that I really like is simplifying things. So anything which is simple, conveys the point, is fun and interesting, is something I really like creating or writing, because I also create a digestible design. So I basically create like designs that represent different types of contracts, so that it's easier to understand contracts, because there's so much legalese already. We need someone to simplify it. And I was someone who really felt that we have too much of there's too much there are too many words in a contract, and there are too many there's just too much legal stuff that people, that non-lawyers or business people are not able to understand. And I think the main reason why lawyers exist, or is to simplify the law to the people in the community, to help them understand their rights and help them understand, make their business compliant and things like that. So I think simplifying is the first step, which which has been barely done in the legal profession. So I thought that maybe I should take up the initiative, because no one has. And I mean, there are different initiatives, but I thought that this might be a good way to start off. And so I really like simplifying complex things. So I think that's the best part. That's my favorite part in writing, basically.
Beautiful, Samriddhi, and it's so required at this stage, because so I also teach law to law students, and when I get the answers from them, I really suggest them that you should write answers in the simplistic way so that your clients understand. But people would write answer that I am not able to understand.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're taught in law school to be complex. We're taught to write complex, hard words that nobody understands, not even like a lot of lawyers. And then after we join the profession, that's what I've heard from most of the people, that when they join the profession, it's all about simplifying whatever they learned and just writing in the most simplest manner. So I think we should be trained to completely, go like push the plain writing movement and just be a part of it.
It's absolutely necessary, because I feel like if I have to give a legal opinion to somebody, and or I have to write an email, if I write 3-4 pages email, I know my client will not read it, and he'll just call me and ask, Priggya, what have you written? Just
Yeah,
exactly, I
absolutely.
can't understand stuff. So if I give two paragraphs which are really simple to understand, and I think that is the best way to do it. And what you are doing is absolutely necessary in the industry.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. It's just the starting, to be very honest. I have a few more ideas to take this forward and hopefully, build something out of it. But let's see, because currently I'm just, jam-packed with a lot of things, and my next semester classes have also begun. So.
Yeah, great. I'm sure you'll do well. And like it's the journey what you have taken, and it is going to be beautiful. So,
Yes, yes.
Samriddhi, now just let us know that you are also into digital marketing, lead generation, and as you are a law student, you must be knowing that we are restricted by a lot of bar council rules, that we cannot advertise and things like that. So, what do you suggest, that how should lawyers manage their digital mediums and stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not niched into digital marketing. I'm mainly into content development, which is just a branch of digital marketing. So and there's a lot more that goes into content. It's not just not content creation, it's content marketing, it's content distribution, and a bunch of other things, right? And lawyers like are restricted in India specifically to not promote and solicit their services. And that's completely okay, because we have, like, lawyers in India have a lot of other mediums to showcase their expertise and talk about what they really know, so that people can come to them. Because in other countries like the US, they have a lot of freedom to advertise themselves, and even in the UK. But when it comes to India, I think what lawyers can do is just create really good quality content. Because what I see is that now lawyers and law firms are starting to create more and more content, but there's no quality in that. Like, there's very little quality, because I feel that most of it is plagiarized from the internet itself, because everyone is just trying to win the SEO game. So when you look at SEO, search engine optimization, it's just that they're trying to, so search engine optimization basically helps you rank on Google. So when a lot of lawyers are trying to use similar words and similar phrases and just put stuff, all of that in an article, it's not really having that kind of quality, or it's not really giving clients or people who are going to read that proper value, right? And we're always looking towards value. So I think now there has to be a shift from just creating content to creating quality content, because I think that is what will help lawyers stand out. And creating content should be something that should not stress lawyers out, because it's just simple. You just need a content strategy in place to figure out who is your target audience. And there are a bunch of questions that you should ask, like who is your target audience, what kind of people do you want to attract, what is your goal with creating content, which are the platforms that you want to create content on. And then you have to have a strategy. And then it's not just about producing new content every day, because that's not possible, right? So even while we are recording this, so you're going to be putting up this as a podcast, right? But you can also repurpose it in terms of putting clips on different platforms, so that the content keeps going. So it's repurposing content. So I think lawyers should also learn that. And lawyers just need to take out probably 2 hours a week to figure this out. And if they can't figure this out, they should just consult different people who are into this field, right? And who really help lawyers. And now there are a lot of students, a lot of professionals who are trying to help law firms and lawyers. So I think they should just consult them if they really don't have the time, because what I do is I help busy legal professionals figure out content, right? So yeah.
Perfect, Samriddhi. I love the way you discussed repurposing, because I think it is very, very important. And not only in, people who are typically lawyers, but people who are engaged with law and some other industry. For example, legal digital marketing. There are a lot of companies that are coming up with this business model.
Yes.
There are companies which are into video marketing for lawyers and
Yes.
things like that. So for everybody, this repurposing strategy really works. For example, a simple blog article can be converted into video, a small video, or a Instagram reel or something like that. So I think you explained it so beautifully that every lawyer should now focus on repurposing content and create content for themselves.
Right, because I think the first step is creating quality content, because once you've created quality content, you have the freedom to repurpose it in as many channels as you want and in as many ways. Like, for example, like you just said, you can convert an article to a video. The same way you can just convert a webinar that you're conducting into, articles, so that people who don't want to watch a very long video can just read a small snippet of the article. That's what I also help legal professionals with. They might have their videos, they might have webinars that they've conducted. So I just help them repurpose all of that into a crisp, short article, so that some people like reading, some people like watching video. So, you're trying to cater to a large audience, as well as, you're trying to cover all places where your clients are, basically.
Yeah, basically that is the most important thing, that we are generating content for the right audience. If the audience is not right, then probably our content will not reach to the right person, and the motive gets failed.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So Samriddhi, through your profile, I got to know that you work in the domain of personal growth and development a lot, and you also like this area. So can you tell us some insights that you have learned in this area, and what is your journey in the area of personal growth?
Yeah, surely. So, I'll start from the starting, in the sense that in 2020, when we had the lockdown and all of that, and like I just completed my 12th grade, and I was really not, I felt not good in life, because I felt that I needed something to push myself, to motivate myself. And I felt that when I thought of choosing management, that didn't really motivate me. So I think when I took up law, that gave me that push and that ambition to pursue a lot of things. So and in 2020 is when I really started focusing on myself in my personal growth and all of that. So I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of movies that were focused on just being happy and just growing yourself as a person. So I really like content like that, and I started watching a lot more productivity content. I started reading books that were aligned. I started following people who were into this niche, and I don't know, I just magically got an opportunity to write for a US based podcast, which is a mental health well-being podcast, where I was supposed to write a few scripts for them. And I worked with them for more than 5 to 6 months. And I wrote scripts for them in the well-being in the personal development industry. And I think I learned more about myself while doing that. And it was my first ever client opportunity. And that's where my freelancing journey actually started. So I think that was a great experience, and that did help me understand myself better. Then after that, I also started my own self-development page, which I was just talking about my journey and how it helped me. And then I slowly integrated that page into my personal profile on Instagram, where I'm also talking about legal things, where I'm also talking about personal development. So I think personal development is a very large part of what I do, because I feel that when you have that confidence, when you have that growth factor in you, when you've looked at how to grow and things like that, you are able to perform other things better as well in your life. So for example, if I'm healthy, if I'm working out, and if I'm doing certain things that keep me healthy, then I'm also able to perform better in terms of client work or at college and getting good grades and etc etc, right? So I think it's all interconnected, and I feel that every person should go through a personal growth journey, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just has to be being aware of your own self, because just awareness brings so much that you can figure out a lot of things in life, and you can just have a lot more clarity on things, because awareness helped me bring that clarity. And I think with that clarity, I went on being a lot more curious. So I think there's one more aspect of personal growth, which is curiosity. So because if you are curious about anything, you will just not sit back and watch the show. You will be a part of the show. You will, you will take initiative. You will try to network. You will try to talk to different people. And I think I want to be a part of the show, and I want to really, because I am a really curious person. I just want to know a lot about a lot of different things, not just law, but a lot of other things. So I think being curious and being aware is the essence of personal growth.
Absolutely, Samriddhi. I resonate with this so much. I also had some personal growth journey, and one thing that we practiced there was being curiously engaged in the conversations we do. So, for example, we are having this conversation here. I could be the one who is not probably not listening to what you are saying, but I would not rather be the person who better listen to and ask questions from you. So not in just the podcast, but in every conversations, and it's important because we as lawyers have to be with clients all the time, with judges with all the time, and a lot of people. So being curiously engaged is something which is absolutely important. So thank you so much again for sharing this key point for everybody. And now I'll again ask you a question, because I got curious to know that who are these people that you followed in your initial stage, and what are your favorite books?
Oh, okay, that's amazing. So, sure, I would love to talk about this. I really like talking about personal growth and development. So, a few people that I followed were Gaur Gopal Das, Sadhguru. Then I was also following. I'm not very sure I remember all of these names, but there was Mel Robbins. There was Jay Shetty. There was Tom Bellew. They're all based in the US, but and there were a few Indian creators like Ranveer Allahabadia, and I think they really pumped me to be who I am today, because with all of their content, I think I just summarized all their insights and tried to really implement what they were saying. Not 100% implementation, but I think at least a little bit, so that itself helped me, a lot in my journey. And my favorite books would definitely be, I think I would say, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think that's a really, really good book. And the recent book that I read last year was The Courage to Be Disliked. And I think that book really changed a lot of my perspective, because that book is just amazing. Like, it has a lot of insights. There's been a lot of controversy on the book, but for the part of the insights and the part of the philosophical things that it talks about, it's a really good book. And when it comes to a little bit of the money side, but it's a book called Psychology of Money. And I think I really like that book because it digs into what we think about money. So yeah, definitely that. And I think one more person that I'm remembering now who inspires me till today, and his book just came out, was Ankar Variku. He's amazing. He just puts out a lot of great content that helps college students, people, just generally in their careers. So I think he's just amazing. So he's one of my biggest inspirations for now, at least.
Great, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I'm sure people will now follow these people and they'll also read the books. And I want everybody to do that because, it's such an important aspect. Reading books has personally changed my life, and I am here because of probably because I started reading and started knowing myself better, as you said. So it's such an important thing to follow right people and basically consume right content, because we are also content consumers throughout the day. We are in front of our screens, so following right content for us is also important. So thank you so much for sharing that. And Samriddhi, would you like to share what courses you did, or which is probably one important course which changed your life?
Okay, I think that's quite interesting. So I took up a contract drafting course, and I also took up a legal writing course. I don't know. I think the legal writing course changed sort of my life, if I would like to say that, because with that course, I was able to actually understand the nuances of writing. And I think the best way to learn writing is writing and not doing a course. But I think that course really helped me because I didn't know anything. I was just exploring things. So I think for someone who doesn't really know anything, taking up a course in writing or things like that, it can be a free course, it can be a paid course, it can just be watching YouTube videos, it can be anything. But just having a little bit of guidance before you start is better. And just talking to people who've already done it, like for example, someone who's just who wants to get into legal writing and doesn't know, can approach me or can approach any other people who are more legal writing industry for years and decades, so you can approach them. So I think that's a very great way of understanding and how to begin. So I think the legal writing course really did change my life, because that's the core part of what I do today.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. And now, Samriddhi, to conclude, just some key takeaways for your fellow lawyers or lawyers in making. And you're so young. I'm so inspired by the work you do
Thank
and
you.
everything. So I'm sure it's so much to learn from you. So any key takeaways that you want to give your fellow law students and lawyers and people like me also? Who are
I'm
curious.
not sure. I'm not sure I'm the best person to give advice to lawyers and people who are, in the senior in the industry. But I would just like to say that for anybody, for any of my peers who would like to start this, because I know a lot of students, they approach me every single day asking me, how can we get started? So I'm coming up with a lot of resources. I'm trying to write a book that helps everybody out. And I'm trying to also conduct a few sessions here and there, just trying to get all of them in my schedule. But just a few key takeaways for people who want to get into freelancing, or just not freelancing entirely, but just writing and earning something on the side, but also having that experience that helps you connect with people in the industry faster. So I think just three key takeaways. I would say that first is be curious, because being curious is brought me here to this interview today, because I would have, you would have probably not discovered me if, if I wasn't curious, if I hadn't taken the action steps that I was supposed to take to be where I am today, right? And curiosity. So I think curiosity fuels you to take some sort of an action to search for more knowledge, understand more about different things happening around the world, or whatever, like whatever you want to do, if you're curious, you'll have more ideas as well. So I think curiosity also boosts creativity. And the second thing is, when you're watching a video, when you're listening to somebody, when you're reading a book, always take some sort of notes, or just have some action points. And I think the second point is action, because action is the only thing that will lead you where you are, not just thinking about it, right? Because I know a lot of people who are just like, yes, we want to do this, we want to do this, we don't know where to start. But the thing is, you have to start, right? So I think it's very simple, but it's not easy. Not a lot of people get the simplicity of it, because you just have to take action. Because when you take action, you will get a result. Either you will fail or succeed, or you'll just be in somewhere in the middle. And with that input, you can just move forward and take more action. So I think curiosity, action, and then the third thing would always be upskilling and growth. Because once you've learned, don't think that you know everything, because nobody knows everything. I think a lot of people in the legal industry, I'm not generalizing, but we feel that we know a lot of law and the jargon. um, so we tend to think that we know everything, but honestly, the answer for everything is it depends in this industry. So I think we often don't really know how much we think we know. So I think it's always important to keep upskilling yourself. I just bought a course on LinkedIn. I also bought a course on I also just bought a course on some different aspects of like legal design and things like that, because I'm exploring more of that. So of course, I am just in my second year. I'm just a student and I'm trying to figure things out. So I want to learn more. I want to expand my knowledge. So I think the third thing should definitely be upskilling yourself. So curiosity, action, and upskilling will really change your life. So because it has changed mine.
Beautiful, Samriddhi. Just to reiterate, be curious, be in action, and keep upskilling and keep learning. Enjoy the life, and probably I think journey is more important than achieving a goal. So just
Yes.
enjoy the journey.
Yes, absolutely. Journey is super important, because what I look back right now is I don't look back at having speaking opportunities or having to work with clients as a goal. What I look as the entire process of how much I've grown from December 2020 when I started to January 2022. It's been a journey, and I absolutely cherish each moment that has happened, all the failures, all the people who've rejected in the process, and all the people who've helped me, supported my content and things like that. So yes, I think it's the journey that you should focus on, and not just smaller achievements. Not a lot of people understand this when they're just starting out, but when you've had that journey, I think you understand that journey is more important than the goal itself. So yes, definitely.
Thank you so much, Samriddhi, for your time, and thank you so much for being here. I absolutely loved having conversation with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me, because it is my second or third speaking opportunity. And I'm so glad that LinkedIn has again helped me get more speaking opportunities as well. And I'm so grateful that you found me and we had this conversation, because I absolutely love talking to you. And this was such a great conversation. I'm very grateful that you, invited me to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey there, thank you for attending today's session. If you like today's session, do follow our channel and consider sharing it with a friend. My name is Priggya Arora, daughter of inspiring parents, alumna of IIT Kharagpur, engineer turned lawyer and entrepreneur, and now founder of PA Legal, where we help creators and innovators protect their intellectual property. Thank you.